Hey! So, good news, everybody. I am now a host, contracted host, under agreement, as my talent manager said, under Live Their website is wearelive.com. You can find me at Pixel the Puppet, where I'll be doing puppet shows. That's some new content I've been working on. I'll be playing the didgeridoo. You'll be able to tip me. And just really, just I want people there hanging out, keeping me company, keeping my engagement up. Just having a good time. Like, I know it's struggling times right now, but I'm not like I need money to survive. It will help the situation. I'll be able to get more stuff done, um, and I'll be able to get the equipment that I'm looking for. But where I'm at right now, I don't pay rent as of yet. Um, but I would like to. I'm living with my family. I do help them do a lot of stuff though. I will be doing a full studio mural, which I will be live streaming all of it and recording it as well. And that will be used for my portfolio and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. How you spell my Live It name is Pixel the puppet. Puppet. Pixel the puppet. All one word. I'll be doing some cool stuff. I will be uploading like recorded streams. I was like, well, maybe I should do some YouTube content of, me messing around with a puppet, having a fun time. But a lot of it is that the puppet interacts with the audience. That's what I found people really enjoy. So I'll be recording it, and yeah, so we'll go from there, and I'll put that content up on YouTube, stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna pick a time, multiple times each day that I'll be streaming. I'm gonna be going really hard because we are in quarantine, and there isn't a lot to do. There is my didgeridoo, paint, video games, but man, it was just winter. I'm gonna tell you one thing: I played too many games during winter, and I was like really eager to get out in spring. They're like, "Bam, quarantine." I'm like, I really should have. I was gonna go and get a job right when spring hit, rather than have to walk in the middle of winter to a place, and a lot of places aren't really hiring, and it's just like, um, winter. I try not to. I do retail and stuff usually. I try not to work in retail in winter if I can avoid it, because you will get the flu most likely. Like, that's just how it works. Um, right now, sure I could. Like me, I'm sure if I got corona, I would be fine. For the most part, probably want to die, but not actually. But I do have to think about the other people around me. So if I went and got something at like a fast food place, that'd probably be better than like at a grocery store or something. But I'm still like, well, I gotta figure something out. I was actually not going to start streaming again. I was like, well, I know a place. Let's see how it's going. I'd planned to just get the money, go and teach English, and just relax. But seeing as how great Live It is, I will be able to do all that and above. I'll be able to live stream. I'll be able to travel the world. I'll be able to teach English as I planned. Um, I'm right now. South America is the place that I'm leaning towards. Mainly, like original, I was thinking Asia, somewhere there first, but then I realized if I go to South America, then like, 'cause I'll get like 3 months off every year when class isn't in session, which I now I have to put that on hold until this whole thing happens, because otherwise quarantine. If it happens again, there isn't going to be any jobs for teaching English. Um, so that I'm glad I had waited, because this could have been really bad. I could have really been in a bad situation of getting my life the way I want it and then having to put it on hold again. Um, like so South America, the game plan is to be able to go teach 9 months out of the year, something of that nature, depending. I get 3 months off. I will save up for either a camper van or a camper van, or just like a hippie van, and I'll be traveling from that coast surfing, because I really got to get into surfing, you guys. I got really good balance on a skateboard, but you do something, you want to try something, you're going 25 miles an hour on a skateboard, and you hit concrete, I assure you, it is excruciating. Yes, I go really fast. I speed skate. I do manuals. I really wanted to live stream that at one point, but I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Um, but yeah, I do like manuals. That's where you take the skateboard and you pop it up. But my trick, I can't do a manual standing in place. I found out actually by accident, and also playing video games like Skate, that for one, you gotta have really tight trucks for doing this, for doing manuals. But the more speed you have, the more control you have over it. So I'll be booking it like at least 25 miles an hour on a freaking skateboard, and I'll pop it up on the one wheel and be like, yeah. It's really really fun. So I want to get into surfing. That was one of the reasons why I actually got back into skateboarding, was to practice getting my balance again and everything. Now surfing is different, but I have done, similar stuff. So that's my game plan. I love the ocean. Um, so I like teaching. I really enjoy teaching stuff. So I'll travel. I'll travel the coast. I'll be setting up like gigs, stuff like that. I'll also be street performing. That's right. Once this whole thing blows over, you'll be able to catch me in California. I'll be street performing there again. I'll post it up. Maybe not live stream it. It really does depend. Just because people are around, so it might just be me recording, or I might just blow it up on Twitter and be like, bam, here's where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be here, and then once I get gigs and stuff, I'll also be doing that as well. Yeah, so things are looking up. Myself, I hope everybody is staying in quarantine the best they can. Really washing your hands a lot, not touching your face, as you've seen as I just did. Um, being extra precautious not to spread it, because I assure you, if we don't have a way of countering it. That's the biggest fear right now. One, we don't know how many people actually have it. It could be triple as to what we know, if not more. Hey, it could be less. But that's like a rule of thumb that they do, I believe, something I was reading. Um, if we were in quarantine right now, man, it would be so bad. It world, if the world didn't go into quarantine, basically the world at this point, I'm pretty sure. We wouldn't have over 1 million cases. We would be, I don't know, I would guess somewhere around 10 million, if not more. It would just be spreading like wildfire, just because of how it works. We don't have a way of countering it. One of the things with the flu is that, I actually got this from Bill Nye the Science Guy, one of my idols. Bill Nye Saves the World. I love that. They do a lot. They touch a lot of good subjects, and really put it in. I wasn't aware about this, but with and this was like a couple years ago, I saw this with the flu. One of the ways that it works is that when you get the vaccination, right? If you're around somebody that has a vaccination, say you didn't get it already, you basically pass that down to them, because it is technically, however they do it, the virus. That's why you kind of feel not so good when you get it. Um, but if you're around somebody, because like about 1% or something around that 1 in 100, I'm not exactly sure what the numbers are, can't actually go and get the vaccination um, because of how it affects them. But being around all the people that have it protects them, because it's like the virus itself. It will attach through touch and your distance, your social distance, and so that's cool. That's really I'm glad I'm aware of that, especially. Um, but we don't have that right now. That's the big thing, guys. We don't have that, so it's up to us to hold out as long as we can, um, so we don't end up having the entire world get this. Right now, you can treat the symptoms and stuff, and like there's rumors, oh, you can get tested for a coronavirus. Um, I don't really know what's true. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. I'm in the United States, and they're keeping all the toilet paper for themselves. Luckily, there's a lot of trees out there. I'm just kidding. Not really. Maybe. Not that desperate. We'll find out. Um, yeah, so just keep in mind. Keep in mind, it's not all about yourself. It's about everybody else at this point. Especially, one person could pass it to 100, to 1,000, and since we don't have a way of countering that there's like roughly what 7 billion people on the planet. A million of us having it. That's pretty low odds. Say maybe it's 7 times that, right? And that's 7 million people that have it. Let's do the math. Seven. So 1 in 1 would be 7 million. 70 million. 700 million. 7 billion. So 4 zeros following, right? Wait. So I think I did that right. 1 in 1, 1 in 10, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. But you don't know, and it gets on surfaces. It thing has a hard outer shell. Very weird. I don't want to know this type of stuff, but it like doesn't. So certain things don't take it out. Um, I do wonder. Everybody in this area got this stuff that everybody thought was the flu. However, people had the flu vaccination, given thought maybe it was just a different strain. Everybody got the stuff that really sounds familiar to Corona. Um, it was hard to breathe. Everything hurt. God, I don't even want to think about it, but it was bad in so many ways. So I'm wondering, multiple people, not the only one, everybody got it. Like, just about. Like, you weren't able to go and see people about it. And it was right around when this was happening. But nobody knew, probably because it was misdiagnosed at first. It wasn't caught or whatever. But that could have been it. So, but the thing is, you get different strains, and then so a thing about like flu and everything, and sicknesses like that are contagious is one person gets it, then when they give it to somebody else, they evolve it. That virus evolves within them, and they pass it down. So now it has another trait to try and survive. It just keeps evolving, trying to survive. That happens again and again and again and again. And then before you know it, it's not coronavirus that, um, only takes out a certain, like, 2% or under 2% of people, depending what it actually, all that really is. Can't prove any of that. It does, have a lot of fear that if we don't stop it in its tracks, that it's going to become something way scarier. I mean, look at like the bubonic plague. Took out half of entire civilization because there wasn't a way of stopping it. Myself, there's rumors as to how it got out and stuff like that. I believe a lot of that could be due, maybe not this, but fracking. That's one of the biggest concerns they have about Mars, is that fracking Okay, for one, they have found bacteria on Mars. So that means that since bacteria is technically alive, there is alien life on Mars. Okay? Now let's think about this. If we frack, let's do a comparison. If we frack on Earth, and you know what fracking is, you boom, blow up a chunk and dig deep, get the materials, and send people in, get it, and you open up pockets of it that haven't been touched in millions of years. You do that, and somebody carries it out. Maybe it gets released airborne, depending on what it is. That's bad, right? And it's been down there growing on its own um, for a very long period of time, millions of years, thousands of years, billions. Who we don't really know. We can only do so much. You could be like, okay, well, we found a dinosaur bone next to where we believe, but the thing, that stuff, they don't want that to be associated with it. And the thing is, though, we're dependent on having such a large society. We have to be fracking now to get the materials to keep everyone going. Okay, so that's my take on it being on Earth. Now we go to Mars. All right, it's gonna get a little bit weird. Bear with me. We go to Mars, right? And there's a documentary, but it's also like a mini series called Mars. And that's one of their concerns. They have a lot of well-known people explaining how they feel about it. That we could go and frack there, and this happens in the show. No, I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, they're explaining and showing it, but basically, they frack somewhere. They're trying to get the materials there, and they release something that we have no control over. At all. We have no experience of what it is. Why? Because, okay, look at how far, look at how long this planet has been here, right? You can say that maybe Mars has been there longer. It sure looks like it's run its course. It has 1% of an ozone left. And all this other crazy stuff. So, like myself, if you ever seen the show Strain, that is, we could go and frack on Mars and accidentally release vampires. I'm not even like being like, oh yeah, McStoney believes in vampires. Like, who knew? He's a werewolf, of course. It could be something crazy like that, though. Like, we don't actually know. Like, I'm not gonna be like, okay, zombies, because something that's dead can't really be alive. However, there are examples to where that is, like, semi-possible. Things like cordyceps, weird stuff like that. So we don't actually know it. The thing is, this instrument right here, the didgeridoo, translates to the unknown. So I'm a very firm believer that no matter how much I play this, there's always more and more and more. So for me, having put in over a decade into practicing the unknown, I believe this is very similar to a black hole, and it has its purpose and all that fun stuff you probably heard in some of my other videos. So we don't want to mess with that stuff, like truthfully, but we're probably going to have to. If they go to Mars, there's going to be corporations. They want to get the resources. They want to get their return. They probably want to colonize it and be like, yeah, well, I live on Mars, kind of show off, like, stuff like that. But there's ways to counter that. In the show, they basically quarantined the people, but they didn't know that. It got out and it was too late. And then the small population they had there, held in a confined space, all got it. So while to us, it's like we don't really have this problem ever, right? Not within our lifetimes. I was talking to my parents, not really in their lifetimes. They haven't ever done this. But so people are like, oh, it can't be that serious because there's nothing to go off of. That doesn't mean squat. That doesn't mean anything compared to it. There's people that play the didgeridoo for as long as I have, and they have no clue as to how I do sounds even close to it, because I went down an entire different path. I found another way to to really to really play it towards what I saw, and I knew it was there, and it took me years to figure out what it was, how I was doing it, what all I needed to do, and all that fun stuff, all that fun jazz. So just keep in mind, remind people to be safe, because I tell you, I really want to be out there. I haven't wanted a bad job in so long, doing nothing. I really wanted to, I would like to get the funds I need. I would really like to be out there socializing after like held up in the middle of winter, only working on content, still getting over my last predicament live streaming, where the app just went to doo doo, stuff like that. It kind of broke me, and while I did find Live It, during that I was like, I don't know, I didn't have any faith. But given some time, given the circumstance, I realized that I really should have been there months ago. Um, so hold out, try not to come in contact with people, try not to touch your face, as I am, as you've witnessed. It's my nose is itchy, it's pollen out here and everything, and we all do it. But I try and be like, okay, I really want to scratch my nose again right now. It's not working, but we're just gonna do that. Hopefully that. Oh no, it's on this. Oh, it's back over here. You see one? Oh, now it's up here. Like, it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna. So in public, it's important. Here, it's pretty fine. Nobody's had any signs of it really, in this household. But given, you know, at one point I was working retail, and all my roommates, I had three roommates. One just wouldn't get a job and paid basically, four roommates. Four roommates. Pretty much two didn't want to get jobs. Um, one, and then two of the other roommates worked at the same place I did. Well, what ended up happening is we're all around each other one way or the other. Once our manager had gotten it, assistant manager got it, roommates got it. We pretty much all got it because we're in the same place, and we came in contact at the same time. We all got it, the flu, and I guess it was the flu, and yeah. So we weren't able. Retail is tricky work as it is. Working at a gas station, it wasn't ideal, but I had needed it, and had a revelation that led me back to start over, do things again, without not entirely giving up. I'm making it to California. I could have gone home, or I could have sold my laptop, made the rent, not had quit that job, but they had lied to me. My apartment was lying to me, or my roommates were lying to me, and then everything just kind of went from there. However, I found my calling again, and I have finally reversed my hanged man. That, if y'all don't know, I like tarot, and I was watching this show called Da Vinci's Demons. Awesome, amazing show. Well, Leonardo da Vinci comes into contact with somebody known as the magician. The magician gives him his tarot reading. And myself, I'm ambidextrous like him. I'm a painter. I love creating and building and stuff like a lot of people. But to me, that was the first time I really had come in contact with tarot, and I relate myself, as in the show, you relate to which character you are, stuff like that. To me, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And well, his reading was the Hanged Man. Okay, so let's say that's not my card, right? Well, the first card I get when I actually do have a tarot reading done for me, what do I get? The Hanged Man. speaks to you in different ways. So then I was working on myself. This was when I first started live streaming. Um, and had someone do my tarot. It was over a live stream, which, believe it or not, it's very accurate. Depending also on who's the reader and stuff as well, and how accepting you are of what it's giving and stuff like that. Um, it's just another way of proving that we are all interconnected. Um, so I explained this, so they gave me a full reading and everything, and what it came to be is that have been going around the wrong path. I've been doing the wrong thing, and the universe has a plan for me. This right here is a very large part of it. I didn't take it with me. Had I had taken it with me across the country, it would have been better. I would have been able to have been playing it. Well, next time I get a tarot reading, and I have really worked on myself like a lot. I've gone past social anxiety. I've quit certain things I should have been doing that weren't good for my headspace, so on and so forth. What happens? Least expected it. I get the Hanged Man card, but it's reversed. And those of you who don't know, the Hanged Man, it's a character who's like got his legs crossed and he's upside down. All the blood is rushing to his head, and he has all these amazing thoughts, but is strung up and can't and can't utilize it. At this point, I was given the option, or had the capability to really utilize it, and so it came up reversed, which means that it's all that built up energy and all those thoughts reversed, and now it's finally getting out, and it felt really good. And when I saw that and accepted it, I was like, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, you're perfect, everything's gonna be fine, like all we all want to hear when we're getting tarot reading, like there's not a card in there, but it comes up, and this is your winning lottery number, you go and play it and win or whatever. That's not how it works. That's not what it's about. It's not about any of that. It's for you to help work on yourself. I believe that with your signs and stuff, like I'm a Taurus, Aries cusp. That has a lot to do with who we are, who we're born as. Some people see it as that's their fate, or this is who they're destined to be. Myself, I kind of started to see it as it's all interconnected, and each one of us will befriend this other trait, this other I'm trying to avoid the sun right now, it's not working, this other trait, and build up on it and get rid of the bad with the good, and then you kind of go to the next, and you just kind of and it just keeps going. It's a painting that I want to work on. I still see it, but I don't know how to do it. It'll be really cool. But it would explain what I'm getting at, is that it's not about this is who you are and this is who you're destined to be and everything. These are your base traits, and everyone else has another trait that they shine in, and you have the option to be around them and gain that and embody that and become better and stronger. That's, to me, that's how I see it. It's not like I'm this, and I was born this, I'm better or anything like that. It's about you have to be humble and know that there's always something to work on. Like, I'm sure the people at very top of the world, they've succeeded in everything. There's no such thing as 100% perfection. Not really, not like that. So there's still stuff that they need to work on in too, and that isn't for your life here. Life doesn't end with this vessel. At least that's what I've seen. So and experienced a lot, and I've had a lot of crazy stories, and that's how I know I have a guardian angel. So, oh man, the sun. So yeah, but I just did a 30-minute rant. I didn't play didgeridoo. We're gonna send you off with one, and then I'm gonna try this again and just play. Alright, we're gonna do a phone one for you. Let's do it. Let's get it. See if we can manage to make this work. There we go. Wonder how it sounded. Never sounds as good recorded, no matter how hard I try. But we'll still. I'm just gonna keep doing some stuff and yeah, just having a good time. Peace.